Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to OS World Cup 2021, where we are here with the first of our two winners bracket semifinals, featuring the juggernaut that is the United States here in the OS Standard World Cup, taking on a Hong Kong team that is a massive underdog in this match, but who are the last team, albeit in a different tournament, to take down a United States team back in 4-Digit World Cup 2020, something which my co-commentator Shilier Pair is altogether too familiar with. Good evening, Shilier. How's it going, man? United States last week dropping the first two picks, and, you know, Hong Kong saying, all right, maybe we can make this happen again, as Utami, Fancy Lad, DigitalHypno, Tekkito look to see if they can't get off with an early break point on Hidden 1, which is something that I think they're going to feel pretty comfortable with.
Yeah. We'll have to see again. Hong Kong, they do look good at those aim-based picks, those mechanics-type maps here, and I don't think that this Hidden 1 is going to be any exception to that. I think they're setting themselves up for success if they have a good play on this. Most notably, Dragbit 3 was actually the fourth highest performing player of the quarterfinals round for the Hong Kong team, higher than every single player on the United States team and all the rest of the Hong Kong team in particular. So they've got a strong player on their side to kind of bring things to a strong start.
Yeah, and one thing that I think is interesting with the way player statistics work out for these teams is Hong Kong, as I said, is a team that really rolls with four consistent players. It's basically one roster over and over. As we see an early break from DigitalHypno, going to give Hong Kong a little combo lead along with Utami breaking right after. Meanwhile, United States is a team that really spreads the love. They have a lot of different players playing a lot of different picks. They try to run with pretty variable rosters. So, you know, they often, I should say, don't have, you know, one player all the way to the top like that since they don't have the participation. But working out so far for Hong Kong here. They've got 3 full combos and Dragbit 3 recovering, and there's only one FC left and only one big combo at that, as Tekkito finds the next break for the USA. Not having the greatest of time here on this Hidden 1. It is about a third of the way through and heading toward and above a 100,000 point lead for Hong Kong, who are looking very comfortable. Shiraha Yuki leading the way, 99.5 back, A21 not far behind him, though he does find a break.
That was a rough break for A21, but they're still looking strong on the rest of the team here. Shiraha Yuki and MCY4 with the FC still. Dragbit 3 bringing up just a slight loss on the combo there. These sliders, pretty unforgiving on the aim. You know, this is kind of a step away from, you know, your standard. I think you normally get like hidden one flow aim style, and there goes Fancy Lad for the United States, the last remaining FC. And Hong Kong looking to grab their first point rather handedly here, well through the halfway point of the map. Still looking strong on Shiraha Yuki. Dragbit trying to push 99% as well. You've got DigitalHypno, Utami, and Tekkito on some combo right now. But with about a quarter of the map remaining, there's really not too much that the US can do except for hope for a break from Hong Kong. This team consistency right now is really powering them through.
Yeah, this is just a very, very strong performance. MCY4, Shiraha Yuki still holding high accuracy, full combos, and Dragbit really not far behind. That's a double break, though. MCY and A21. One more miss could make this very interesting. There are, you know, still about 300,000, 400,000 points for some of these players. So one more break could make this very interesting if the United States can hold their combo through the ending. If it's either Shiraha Yuki or Dragbit, Fancy Lad and MCY are instead going to be the ones who trade, but Fancy Lad has the smallest combo on the US as they try to claw back this lead, but there goes DigitalHypno. Okay, Shiraha Yuki, MCY4 broke. Is there enough time? I don't think there's enough time left at this juncture, but it's going to get very close here at the end with Tekkito and Utami.
Yeah, that 400,000 score lead is going to disappear rather quickly, but it is just not enough time left. I think Dragbit has held it for long enough here. The top performing player from the quarterfinal round continuing to be a star for the Hong Kong team, and they're going to get themselves on the board by a rather large margin, about 150,000 score in favor of Hong Kong. So the United States not looking as strong on that Hidden 1 pick there. Dragbit.
But it looks like we are finally loading in, so be able to get going.
There we go. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I mean, Aricin has been known to have some internet issues as well as some of the Hong Kong players, so we're really not too sure. It could have been Bancho for all we know as well, but we will continue. This map is very burst heavy, not super stamina heavy if you are comfortable with the consistent fast burst, but 263 BPM bursts are not super long. There's a couple of slightly more stamina draining ones, but for the most part, if you have the aim for this map, I think you'll be fine for the first half of it. It's not super long, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. TiRa finding the first break right there for Hong Kong, so they're already going to be bringing up the rear here. United States with the 4-way FC still. There goes Minecraft 570.
And I think now that we are getting on into the later stages of the tournament, we're going to start seeing what I like to call in the tournaments where he plays the Aricin effect. There are very few people in the tournament scene who can do the things that he does on these types of maps. You see him still holding the 99.84 AC FC. These semifinals and onward, things like Nomad 5, DT2, DT3 maps, there are not many people out there who can FC them with ease and with the AC that he does. So it's going to be a huge advantage for the United States being able to put him in and just know you're going to get probably at least a very high AC score, if nothing else. But Rlsc and A21 holding on, TiRa down to 89%, not doing greatest. This is a pick that I think is kind of a throwaway for Hong Kong.
Minecraft 570. Aricin!
He over-aimed a triple, man. Oh, that is so unlucky.
Oh, no. Tragedy strikes for the man with the 99.89% accuracy. A21 misses at the ending! What?
I did say that Aricin was going to have good AC. I did not say he was going to FC, and that's exactly why, because he is so prone to doing that. Fortunately, it didn't cost them anything, as they had the double FC from Utami and Fancy Lad. Utami, by the way, 7 100s only, doing all right for himself there. The United States really just cleaning up on that pick, as we knew they would, I think, going into it. That was a very, very free map for them in this matchup. And it is going to be that here again, yeah. So that's kind of the roster they ran with. They played Free Mod 3. They run A21 Hard Rock, or actually I think maybe Hidden Hard Rock. Shiraha, Yuki, Hidden. Same thing on Free Mod 1. Free Mod 2 they over-modded, but obviously that being the CS5 Aireu, a little more receptive to that. And as you expected, Tekkito, Hidden, and Fiery Hard Rock for the USA. So minimal mods for both teams. 1 Hidden, 1 Hard Rock, 2 no mod both ways. We've seen some very good scores on this map. Really over the course of today, with pretty much every mod we've seen good hidden scores, we've seen good hard rock and no mod scores, so expecting more of the same from some very experienced free mod players on these two rosters.
Very strong. There goes Fancy Lad with the first break there. He's still got high accuracy. It's not going to matter as much until we get into the key out here as Shiraha. Yuki finds a trade at the beginning here. Less accuracy. We'll have to see. The act battle could come into effect here. Utami and Tekkito still holding a double S. Likewise, Dragbit 3 and MCY4. But there goes A21. Both mod players on Hong Kong.
That's really bad. The only miss on the USA was on one of their no mods. And 2 misses on the 2 mod players from Hong Kong. This is a scary sort of map. These kind of start and stop awkward streams can really trip you up, and that's what happened to A21. Had a kind of sequential miss there, and United States going to take a 100K lead just about halfway through. The confidence level of some of these players is so high. You see Utami still rocking the SS, as well as Tekkito, and Dragbit 3 as well as MCY4 on the Nomads, both holding SS for Hong Kong. So ridiculous accuracy for these players, with those 2 breaks gonna hurt Hong Kong here in the middle portion. And there goes A21 as well. He matches Fiery, but that's actually worse for Hong Kong, I think.
No, A21 had a break,
it's worse for the United States technically, but it's still 2 FCs and a giant combo, so it won't help Hong Kong bring anything back.
They needed him to hold alongside the Fiery break. They do, I mean, regardless, they do have high accuracy on the 2 remaining players from Hong Kong, so all is technically not lost yet. The score lead is rather close, but double break from Hong Kong might just do them in on that one there. That double FC is being matched, and Fancy Lad. Oh, but there goes Tekkito. It might be a little late, though.
It's going to be close. This could get close at the end, but I think the chain misses coming out from the couple members of Hong Kong there, even if they get the double FC from Dragbit and MCY4, I think it might end up being too little too late, unfortunately. Yeah. Those overlapping streams are just deadly, and you saw very few people able to make through comfortably. The Nomad players, the only ones, and well, United States just had enough of a lead that it was not possible for Hong Kong to come back at the end there, even with the 2 FCs to 1.
2 FCs to 1, Utami matching MCY4 Dragbit with the 1x100. We talked about him being the highest performing player on Hong Kong and the highest performing player out of both of these teams last week, and continuing to prove that.
Hong Kong really, I think, will be able to hang with the United States just like that on a lot of picks, and USA going with a quick Nomad 6. We know, these players have mentioned, feeling that this map is like pretty solid, but, a couple of USA players were talking about some trouble they were having with the rhythm. So we'll see if that comes through at all in the match itself. But I think Nomad 6 is something that USA is typically very confident on against pretty much anyone. So they'll feel good going into this next pick.
They certainly will, with being their own pick, I imagine. Shiraha Yuki going to be the first break with Fiery, going to trade it up. Lot of rhythm changes, a lot of 1/3 to 1/6 back to, the 1/4 snap patterns here. A lot of flow aim involved in this. This is something that you need to be fairly proficient at this gimmick skill set to be good at. And Dragbit 3 alongside Fancy Lad right now are both kind of showing us that this map is maybe not as hard as it looks. Who knows? Maybe they're just absolutely insane, but regardless, the two of them matching each other, it's dead even between the two teams with a slight act lead for the United States.
Yeah, this is staying very close early on here. Triple FC to Triple FC. Dragbit 3 drops a little bit of the accuracy down, but there goes Utami losing out on the FC, so that's going to be advantage Hong Kong for the moment. Their accuracy is a little bit behind, but the combo, except there's the break from MCY4. And that combo lead is no more for Hong Kong. Like you said, with all the changing in snapping in this 1/3, 1/6, 1/4, as Fiery slider breaks. All right, so it's Fancy and Tekkito with the double FC against A21 Dragbit, but Shiraha Yuki now has a big combo to back them up and try to bring this lead over to Hong Kong.
Yeah, having that recovery from the earlier break was kind of the reason that the United States won that free mod pick. Despite some early breaks, the United States had a recovery on the broken combos, and that's why they won the map. And likewise, if Hong Kong is able to have Shiraha Yuki put up a good combo for the rest of the map, the recovery is going to help as Fancy Lad finds a break.
All right, this is going to be a break point right back for Hong Kong at this rate if they can hold things together. Shiraha Yuki does find a miss, but A21 Dragbit still on that confident double FC, and there is not much time left. I think this might just be out of reach for the USA unless Hong Kong completely falls apart in the ending, and Fiery instead is the one that breaks.
Yeah, look at that.
That's going to be
a break point.
A Nomad 6 break point for Hong Kong over the United States. I'd like to let that sink in for a second because I don't think anybody expected that to happen. Tying it up to a piece using that rhythm skill. All those tempo changes that this map throws at you. A21 and Dragbit 3 able to handle it quite well with the double FC. Only Tekkito able to hold on for the USA. And we're back on level footing.
Well, looking like MCY4 on the Hard Rock, Dragbit on the hidden there. Interesting to not see A21 running the Hard Rock on this one. MCY4 is definitely struggling a little bit on that free mod one, maybe looking for some redemption there. Does find an ACK drop at the beginning alongside FieryRage on that Hard Rock, so rather difficult sitting here at that OD8.
What?
Dragbit? No lock. Hello?
Bro, he like rage cursor dance and missed another bunch of circles there, and MCY4 breaking early on as well. There goes Dragbit. Oh my goodness. Okay,
so no lock
from Dragbit 3, excuse me, but MCY4 as well. Unfortunately, Fancy Lad and Fiery both breaking for the USA. So 2 FCs to 2. Despite all that, it's not a big lead.
Not at all. I mean, Aireu does finally drop that double S, but still holding rather good accuracy. Utami's a good hidden player to have on this map. There is another break there from Shiraha Yuki and A21, though there is no FCs left on Hong Kong.
Boy, it makes you wonder why they were so quick to pick this. I mean, I don't know if, this has got to be an underperformance. Like, that this is, they are expecting to perform better than this on this map, but this is just not going well for Hong Kong. There's a break from Utami, but fortunately for the United States, Fancy and Fiery have both recovered, and Aireu is still holding, so it's just, Fiery breaks, but
there goes Fiery.
it's just not, this is just kind of going all over the place. A lot of people having a lot of trouble with this type of pick. You can see why this was buffed up to AR 8.4 from AR 8, because I think this would have been even more brutal than it already is, as you see players breaking left, right, and center. Shiraha Yuki, Utami both gone again, MCY4 gone. Aireu is like just in a zen mode right now, the only player able to hold much. The only player holding an FC.
This is just alternate dimension play from Aireu right now. Unfortunately enough for Hong Kong, they don't have a single player to match that performance. The breaks from Utami and Fiery are certainly making it look doable, but I mean, the combo that you get from that FC, as well as the accuracy lead that he has over the next closest player. Utami's going to find another slider break there on the hidden, but MCY4 is going to trade it up as well, and that's going to go to the United States for the break point there, right back.
Aireu, 4-100s, by the way. Aireu comes in for his first map of the day and announces his presence. You know, he brings out the megaphone and says, hey, guys. Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in as, you know, kind of the defending team, I guess, as it were. But, you know, this is not going to be an easy map. And it's one, I think, it's the type of map where your performance can be quite variable. The volatility of a map like this is typically going to be a little bit higher than some of the other, you know, kind of raw mechanics types of picks. So this is one where, you know, if Hong Kong has a good run and the United States has a suboptimal run, it's definitely doable for them. But you can see already, you know, that AC advantage, the United States starting to just a little bit, just gain a little bit of ground, and they'll see how much they can do. Although there's the first break from Fancy Lad, so who knows?
Well, second map now that Fancy Lad has been the first break on. He's going to find another one here, not super comfortable with this patterning right here. It's going to give Hong Kong the opportunity to make up the ground that they lost on that AC lead there. Dragbit and Shiraha Yuki going for a little bit of combo gaming right now, but if it works, it works.
Yeah, 821 meanwhile, 99.4. No big deal.
He's just chatting this map out right now. FieryRage 99.82 as well. Oh, and that's a break, but DigitalHypno trades.
That's not going to be the end of the world for Hong Kong. There goes MCY4, though. So that is 2 FCs to 2 and a decently sized backing combo from Fancy Lad. And the 2 FCs that are left for Hong Kong are their 2 with the lower accuracy as well. So something to keep in mind. Those players probably a little bit less comfortable with this pick. And meanwhile, Fancy Lad recovering, and Aireu and Fiery looking strong, both over 99 AC. Fiery still up at 99.76, so USA gonna try to see if they can't pull away a little bit as MCY4 breaks right in the middle.
Yeah, Fancy Lad recovering from those earlier combo breaks, good accuracy as well, so regardless of whether or not those breaks came through, the AC is gonna put his score well above the next closest player with a break on Hong Kong. And Shiraha and Aireu do trade it out.
Okay.
Not the end of the world.
No, that's not going to affect much either direction. I mean, Aireu has a higher accuracy by 3%, so his score will drop less, I suppose. But FieryRage, the big story here, taking on Dragbit 3 and ahead by almost 2% in accuracy. That equates to about a 60k score, and that is just helping even. Every little bit counts, and United States feeling good here coming into towards the end with about a 300 near 300,000 point lead. Aireu finds another break, but I think it's just going to be too little too late, unfortunately.
DigitalHypno supporting combo is just far too big for the... I mean, the score lead has been growing towards the United States the entire time, regardless of whatever Hong Kong has done for breaks or the United States has done. FieryRage's AC lead and Fancy Lad and DigitalHypno basically having perfect recoveries from their earlier breaks have made this virtually impossible for Hong Kong to make a comeback on unless they held that double FC. And, you know, not to mention 821 and MCY4, they do find some combos after those initial breaks. The slider break for 821. Dragbit 3 just with that one miss, but it was going to be a close one between the two. Hong Kong needed 821 to find that FC. You do have to worry about players like Fancy Lad on maps like this, and if you want to worry about a player, that's not one that you want to have to worry about. So we'll see. Hong Kong, I don't know. Dragbit has been looking pretty good today. 821 as usual, a big player for them. See how that slider aim holds up here.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty ridiculous things out of the United States in the past on Nomad 4s. I think we saw like a 3 or 4-way FC with maybe even like an SS thrown in I think quarterfinals or semifinals last year. So definitely a type of map that they're very scary on, but one that we haven't seen them playing a whole lot yet this year. So getting our taste of the USA's tech skills on Hong Kong's pick. Going to definitely be an interesting one. And we see a couple of early breaks, Fancy Lad and Tekkito. Hong Kong letting these sliders do the talking for them as they make their way through cleanly. Shiraha Yuki will be their first to break, but they do have some combo advantage despite the AC differential.
Well, Shiraha Yuki is a little bit far behind. The accuracy is actually doing more damage than that combo there, but there goes Dragbit getting caught on that more dense pattern. There's a big change in spacing. not quite comfortable on that one. So it is 2 FCs to 2, but the United States with that combo recovery. And of course, as usual, that accuracy. Tekkito and Fiery.
Is 2 people over 99. Meanwhile, Hong Kong, their best stack is 97. And the United States has a 100K lead pretty much on that and that alone. You know, it's the difference between being able to get through an NM4 and the ability to play a Nomad 4 in the United States.
Oh, Aireu, what?
Okay, all right, I'm just going to shut up because whatever I just said clearly ruined Aireu's night.
Okay.
All right, I don't know, maybe he looked away from his screen, maybe he blinked, and maybe there was a local earthquake. Hong Kong is just going to say, thank you very much, we will see what we can do with this.
Oh, Dragbit! Oh, stop cursor dancing! No, don't do that! Okay, let's just hope that Dragbit losing the 30,000 score from not playing the map right there doesn't throw that.
That was really, like, even if you break, you can't do what he just did, because that's just losing you score. Like, unless he had a problem with his game and it, like, tabbed him out or something, that's the only, like, logical explanation I can come up with for that. Shiraha Yuki gonna break as well. MC4 A21 still playing the role of the carries here for Hong Kong, but all they're doing is, you know, kind of delaying the inevitable at this rate.
Yeah, there's really nothing that Hong Kong's going to be able to do, unfortunately enough. FieryRage still holding that combo with rather good accuracy here. A21, the next closest player. Tekkito and Fansulad both recovering from the earlier breaks. MCY4 is matching one of them, but Dragbit and Shiraha Yuki just not enough to match up against both those. Aireu does find another break, but I think it's going to be too late unless for some reason we see a break from maybe Fiery here, but even then it is going to be rather close. That is a massive 400,000 score gap between the two teams now.
Yeah, there's no coming back from this one at this juncture, unfortunately. That's a very solid score. USA is going to put up about 3 million on this. FieryRage doing what he does best. You know, he just shows up when his team needs him. And this, much like that DT4 performance, and Aireu Reading WTF. Yeah, he probably is unhappy with that score, and he loses them the chance at 3 mil. But it's a point, it's a break point, and it's 5-2. That is a match point now.
It went for the kitchen sink, and you got the freaking fridge. Like, I don't.
Yeah, this is a hard map, and well, United States hidden, man. You know, they looked not their greatest on Hidden 1 at the start, but on stuff like this, I think is where the USA is going to really shine.
See, Aireu's out for a vengeance from his performance on that last map, so we'll see if he's able to make some difference here. Shiraha Yuki and A21 with some rather early breaks, but we're not going to count them out yet. It is still rather early, but it is a little concerning to see even Utami finding breaks at the beginning here, this easier quote-unquote section.
It's still like this awkward flow aim stuff with some weird little micro cursor movement needed, but it's easier, I guess, than the rest. Shiraha Yuki, unfortunately, finding an early break here also. Not starting off great for Hong Kong, but there's still some time left. It's 2.5 minutes long, so United States not, you know, in an insurmountable position or anything at this juncture yet.
This is a note lock type map. If you miss a pattern on this, you will have a fun day. A21 does find a break. A21 was already down on the combo, though, so I guess it's not the end of the world, but they do need to see someone on the United States trade that out, and unfortunately... Oh, never mind, as I say that, Aireu does trade.
It's Aireu. MCY4 and Dragbit 3 have to hold like their lives depend on it. In a sense, they do. Their winner's bracket lives do really depend on it. And that scoreboard, it's only 200K. It's only 200K. It's halfway through. There's a lot of score left. The back half of this map is quite note dense, and there's a lot of very hard patterns. You hit 1 or 2 of those, and your opponents don't. Maybe you can climb back into this. You know, you don't ever give up ahead of time.
It's not over yet by any means. Halfway through the map, a big back and forth pattern, but Shiraha and Utami do trade out. That's pretty good for Hong Kong there. They do still have those FCs holding. Shiraha Dragbit, though, and that's not something you want to see.
That's like nail in the coffin type break, but there go Fancy and Aireu, so it's not over.
Oh my god,
wait a minute. MCY4, all eyes are on
He has to FC.
He has to hold.
He has to FC. He's got to hold the triples. It is literally all on MCY4. This could be Hong Kong 3-5. Right now, MCY is not breaking on the triples. The score lead is going down.
A21 has a 560 backing combo as well. Utami Aireu trying to do what they can to keep this in check with the 300 and 500. There goes A21. It might be enough combo for USA to hold on to this lead.
So close, Aireu breaks.
Hold on through the
Dragbit broke too. Advancing like trades.
MCY, just hold like your life depends on it. Diamond hands MCY trying to bring this back, and it's just going to come up tragically short for Hong Kong by 40,000 points. His efforts are for naught. The accuracy drops unfortunately sink the hopes of Hong Kong, and the United States managed to eke out a win. MemCY4 though, what a score, lad. What a play from him.
Man, if you were gonna go out on a high note, holy boy. MCY.
I mean, 2 points and a couple of very close maps against the United States is nothing to feel terrible about. But the United States, they just keep trucking, man. I don't know what else there is to say about this team at this point.
Rather strong, if we do say so. This team has prevailed against, again, we mentioned roster changes, losing good players, but gaining some new ones. Likewise with Hong Kong doing very, very well for themselves today.